How challenging was it having the year that you had 2 seasons ago and then not being able to play for half the year last year?
It was definitely a challenge, but I still approached it like I would any other season. I'm still playing football out there, whether I'm actually not playing football or not. I sustained a pretty heavy injury, and I had to kind of come to terms with that, face reality, and work my ass off when it comes to rehabilitation and getting myself battle ready. Yeah.
Were you always planning to enroll in the spring, or did that kind of come up late in the process?
Planning to enroll in the spring.
Yeah, were you planning to go to your new school, or were you planning to transfer in the summer originally? Like there were some conflicting thoughts out there.
Originally I was trying to stake it out at NMSU, but recent changes within the coaching staff at NMSU, notably my offensive line coach, he took off to OSU, and that kind of left me with, I guess, a decision of multiple opportunities, and I guess to be in that position was very stressful, but again, super grateful to have those choices.
You said Coach Stoops is a statesman. What do you mean by that?
Well, he's genuine. He's super honest, and he means what he says. And I like that about him. He's a genuine person. He's very, how do you put it? Focuses on the players and the fact that this team is going to be player-led, in the sense that, we're going to pave the way for it. We're the first on the line. We're going to define our culture. Given how there's a lot of new transfers and whatnot, we have to come up with something like that.
When you were researching Kentucky, what did you see? What did you look for?
What did I see? What did I look for? Well, one of my decisions was what kind of conference am I willing to compete in, and I figured, hell, this is one hell of a mountain to climb. So I might as well climb it. I'm committed to making my last stand here. That was one of my decisions.
Transferring to the SEC, being an NFL draft prospect, you're going to be one of the most visible Native American athletes in the country. What is that kind of like to you and representing that part?
Again, it's a deep honor. I love what I do, and I do it for my community, for the youth, to give them a beacon of hope. That there's a way out of it. There's a way up. There's a way to create and turn defeat into victory, and I'm proud to be on the frontier of that and to define it.
Were there guys you looked up to growing up like that too? Who paved the way for you?
Not. How do you mean?
Were there other Native American athletes out there who you thought, I can do that too, or were you kind of carving that out?
Geronimo is a Native American athlete. He's a big influence on me, big inspiration. I wish I could shake his hand and introduce myself, but I'd have to say that's one of my main influences.
A few years ago, believe it or not, there was a pro athlete here in town, minor league baseball player, who was the first member of the Crow Nation to be a pro athlete. And he told us what that meant to his culture, stretching all the way back to Montana. Is that the way it is in your culture? Or do you even know?
Can you repeat the question?
How deeply does this reach through your culture? Have you heard from a lot of people?
Football?
Yeah. No, in your Navajo Nation. Have you heard from a lot of relatives and things like that?
Yeah, people reach out and whatnot. It's a very close-knit community within the Navajo Nation. I've had fans come up and introduce themselves and whatnot. But
how do you feel about that?
It's nice. It's different. It's new, and I'm recognizing that I'm a public figure, so I have to conduct my business in a professional manner and compete with class, compete with like Stoops, the estates.
How different is it being in Kentucky, where there are just not a lot of Navajo people around versus New Mexico, where it was so much more common?
It's foreign territory. I'll tell you that. There's not a lot of representation out here, and I'm realizing I'm it. It's like there's no one else here, and I guess understanding knowing that there's not a lot of representation out there, I have an opportunity to be that person, to be on the frontier of it, just to represent.
Have you found people in town that you can connect with in the community, or do you have to call back home and get that connection?
Currently, I'm still getting settled in terms of landing an outpost here for myself and for my family, but Yeah, I befriended here. We shot a commercial back at NMSU. He currently stays out here. Colin Doherty, good friend of mine. We go out and get coffee sometimes, but other than that, I haven't had the opportunity to scout out Lexington or whatnot. But I'm going to relish the opportunity. I plan to go hiking in the Red River Gorge, check out the wilderness. I'm excited for Keeneland. So big opportunities.
Are you still working on your degree in Mexico State too? How does that process work?
Yeah, so I'm dual enrolled currently. I'm pursuing a bachelor's at NMSU, and then I'm also pursuing a graduate certificate at the University of Kentucky. I'm actually surprised they're able to do that, but it's a lot of work, a lot of classes, it's a lot of focusing.
So you're taking in-person classes here, then online classes?
It's all online. Okay. Given how late I was in my decision, I wasn't able to enroll into in-person classes. I'm very fortunate to even be able to participate in the spring.
Given how late you committed, did it make it any easier for you knowing all of who Kentucky is bringing in and kind of knowing your fit because you were the last guy to be brought in?
Can you repeat that question?
Just like, did it help at all with your recruiting process to know exactly who Kentucky was bringing in and the guys you were going to be playing alongside?
I mean, yeah, as it stands, like I was looking at Michigan, to be honest, but it seems like they were already set and had invested in younger guys, and so that ship had kind of sailed. But coming here, I mean, Coach Wolf said it himself, I'd be their left tackle, or I'd have an opportunity to prove myself in spring ball and fall camp, and I mean, I'd work to eventually become their plug and play. If that makes sense, and to be a role model for the younger guys.
Was there anybody when you arrived here that kind of took you under their wing, so to speak, and it helped you get acclimated to the program?
Abba Seam, the sophomore. They're really cool gentlemen. I guess hooked me up with some school supplies, a whiteboard to write plays down. He's a cool guy. He's my left guard currently in our rotation of players. He's a cool fellow, but that's the guy I kind of leaned towards in the beginning of my stay here.
There's so many new faces.
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of guys kind of looking around and saying, trying to get familiar with each other?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's to be expected in any program that has a lot of new faces. We're kind of at this stage where teams either come together or they kind of like stay. So we need some wiggle room. We need some guys able to, I guess, generate some enthusiasm and charisma, perhaps. Generate an environment where it's everyone's able to express themselves and their opinions, and it's inclusive. If that makes sense.
Do you have some of that bring together of charisma, you think?
Yeah, we're working in each and every single day we're taking little steps, in terms of encouraging each other and the lifts, and talking to different people during lunch and in our locker rooms. So again, little small steps. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.